Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
Why were you spared?
So there had to be some great power, because you just can't say millions to one, millions to one. I used to say 1,000,000 to one. It's much more than that, because, again, you have to pull down the sign. It has to be a reason to go right, and I never go right. There's no reason. And not only go right, it's for about 1/8 of a second. It's not just right. It's out of all the time that we're on this planet, it's 1/8 of a second, right? So I shouldn't be with you.
He makes no sense.
I just think I'm gonna barf.
That was baby Jesus vomiting blood.
Yes.
But God saved him because something.
Yep.
Okay. So, no, we always say, particularly Chris and I, we always say for years, we're not conspiracy theorists. You know, with Jim Ward, we used to be like, oh, God, don't say the thing about a plane didn't hit the Pentagon. But, so we're just not.
Right.
But, you know, this assassination attempt, everybody's saying it. You've been talking, it's just so much smells to high heaven. And just because, first of all, he and Eric both said half his ear is blown off. He wears a Kotex for a week. Then there's not even a scratch. We have no medical information whatsoever, right? I mean, the family, what did I read yesterday? The family of the shooter and the other people injured have been like threatened to stay silent. Like, what is going on, do you think?
I think it smells. I think it stinks to high heaven, and I agree with you. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But January 6th was a conspiracy, right? So conspiracies do exist, and that's the kind of guy who gets involved in them any chance he gets. I worked on all the 9/11 memorials. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
Whatever, like reputation I have, I would put on the line to say that something doesn't add up. It's not right there. And I don't have the answers, but Trump is not somebody who's worthy of the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And I've been around him. I know the man. The way he reacted in the moments after the shooting are not normal. It looked very rehearsed.
Staged. Everybody said that.
Right.
Well, and
That's
also,
good.
I mean, also this whole, the Republicans, they didn't go to the site like everybody. You can tell they're working on their own conspiracy. Didn't Trump just try to imply that, Biden and Harris ordered the hit on him? Speaking of crazy conspiracies, but you just said Trump is the kind of man who would sacrifice one of his supporters without blinking an eye, and everything about his initial photo op reaction to his quote unquote assassination attempt and the way he used the images of the story since tells me that's exactly what he did. Flynn is the sort who could pull it off. Donald sought out sympathetic Secret Service agents since day one. That part is not secret. Hence the deleted agents texts after J6 and the transfers to Tampa. Nothing about this feels legitimate. I mean, I think that's why, just because there's always a cover up with him.
Absolutely. If he had gone right to the hospital and a doctor came out and gave a press conference,
a real
I'd say,
doctor,
"Oh, good. Nothing happened, right? Or nothing to be wary of." But he didn't do that. He kept it secret after what we saw on stage, what looked suspicious. There's no doubt people were killed. Somebody got killed and the shooter got killed, and that's a tragedy. But that kind of tragedy means nothing to Donald Trump. That's why he used the guy as a prop at the convention, not even a week later.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt, and he's capable of that and a lot worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, we all condemned it immediately. The Secret Service obviously effed up, but you're right. You're just like, what? That doesn't look like anything I've ever seen, that they let him keep popping up and for the photo op and the fist, and that they told them there was a shooter, like they had even 40 seconds knowing there's a shooter on the roof, that they didn't tackle him and get him out of there. Like, all of it is just like, what?
It makes no sense. I've been around the Secret Service a lot. I went to high school with Bobby Engel, who's the guy that Trump choked in the back of his SUV, who's a former Marine. Those guys, they all got transferred down to Tampa after January 6th. They deleted their text. Trump surrounds himself with the kind of agents and cops and stuff that would go along with his grift and with his sort of ideology. He seeks those guys out.
Well, Noel, that has been said that they are too that's one of the problems. They're too deferential to him, because you're like, what? Why would they let him go get his shoes and keep popping his head up and I mean all that stuff? Yeah. Just
You
that
remember when
part.
Reagan got shot, they tackled him and threw him in the car.
Yeah.
You know, like once there's an incident, the Secret Service generally takes over, and you're just something they're protecting. You're not say, hey, I'm looking for my shoes. Let me check my hair. Let me stand up and, get this.
But you know what it is? Well, almost someone said it at the time. They're like, live your life in such a way that at least half the world doesn't think you faked your own assassination attempt just because he's so full of it that you're like, there's got to be something off with this, even to the point of him going, I took a bullet for democracy, when clearly it was not a bullet, or his ear would have been gone. It was something, right?
Absolutely. And people who go through trauma don't generally sell coffee table books with images of it 2 weeks after, right? It's not something you want to look at, right? If it's real blood all over your face, you're like, I don't want to see that. That was one of the worst days of my life. I almost died and somebody did. Let's move on. That's not Trump. He's grifting off it, and that should make everybody suspicious.
Yep. American Financing, saving homeowners over $800 every month by using your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt. American Financing, America's home for home loans. AmericanFinancing.net/progress.